Okay, so we are from Immacity. We are a WSQ approved training company, and course fees are subsidizable with skills future credits as well as NTUC UTEP. So you may want to find out if you are eligible, or maybe perhaps your company has some special arrangement to get some subsidies. So those are the full-time courses, of which I teach 2 of them at Immacity. Most of our courses are done online. So what will we be covering this evening? So let me just give you the overview. Firstly, what does a social media marketer do? Secondly, who can you reach through the various social media channels? Thirdly, quite important, right? Nowadays, how do you create content that engages your audience? And then we look beyond just the marketing function of social media. So there are other functions as you see here, and I'll cover all of them later. And lastly, career path and salary range for a social media manager. So 5 topics should be covered within 45 minutes, and then we'll have some time for Q&A. A bit about myself, right? So my background, I've been doing branding, copywriting, content creation, social media management. I've been working in marketing fields for, I think this year should be my 30th year. I've been training for around past 4 or 5 years already. So that's, and what I do currently is I'm a freelance marketing consultant or social media consultant or copywriter consultant. That's what I do. So here at Immacity, I do training for 2 modules. Both are 2-day, full-day courses online. One is for social media management, and the second one is content creation strategy. You can find out more about this from our website. Okay, and I will share more about this at the end of today's course. So once again, this is part of a series of talks that we're giving here, meant for you to know more about different aspects of marketing. So this is the second talk. Now, before we begin, let's start with a definition. What is social media? Yeah, I think most of us have experienced social media. We roughly know what it's about. But do you really know what are the criteria that make up a channel social media? Okay, so here are 3 criteria that I consider to be important when you want to consider a channel as social media. Number 1, it has to be web-based. So you need to be on the internet to access. You can access social media via an app or the website, right? So if you want to go on Facebook on your desktop, you just go to www.facebook.com, or you have it on your mobile device, the app is already there. You can access it that way. So both of these are connected to the internet. Number 2, social media allows all the users on that channel to share content, right? As you know, you can type something, share some information, post a photo, post a video. It's meant for sharing, okay? So over time, right, they advance from just text to pictures, and now pictures to videos, videos to live videos, so on and so forth. And I'm sure there'll be new things along the way. And number 3, the third one, social media allows for real-time mass collaboration. So instantaneously, you see someone else on social media, you can communicate with that person. Yeah, you can send a message, you can start a discussion, so on and so forth. So these 3, So what is social media, or what are the different kinds of social media out there? I'm sure you guys know your Facebook, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, your TikTok, right? But are you aware that YouTube is also considered social media? WhatsApp as well, right? When people use WhatsApp for marketing, they can do WhatsApp advertising via the Meta or the Facebook app, and then they can form chat groups as well. So let's look at all these 3. Let's look at these 3 criteria and just mentally go through all of them. Facebook, definitely accessible via the internet only. And then when you have your own Facebook page, you can post anything you want on your page, more or less. And then you can collaborate with people who join your group, join your page. Okay. Now, I also listed Reddit. Reddit is a forum, right? It's probably the world's #1 forum, the largest forum in the world. In Singapore, our version is Singapore Hardware Zone. So you've heard of that. So on forums, you can also sign in. You can also do all these 3 things that I listed up there. Coming back to YouTube, you would think, okay, I go there just to watch videos, but you can actually set up your own channel, personally or for your company. So that's why it's social media. But YouTube is special because it has the 2 functions, social media plus search engine. Right, YouTube is the world's #2 search engine. You can search almost anything. In fact, people prefer to search for videos rather than for text. If you want to search via text, you use Google, of course. Google is the world's #1. #2, YouTube is owned by Google. So Google has the monopoly on search engine. By the way, Google is not social media. All right, Google is not a social media. Yes, it's web-based. It's a search engine. It's not allowing users to share content and collaborate. Now, there are 2 other ones that sometimes you may not be sure. One of them is SMS. Did you know that you can access SMS without going on the internet? Right? When you buy your mobile plan, you have your 3G, 4G, whatever, 5G network, right? So you can use it to make calls and send SMS. So you don't need to log onto the internet for that. That's why SMS is not considered. Email. Email meets the first 2 criteria, but it doesn't meet the 3rd. So email is also not considered social media. So there you go. I hope that gives you a better idea. So when we talk about social media, let's look at these 3 criteria. So what does social media mean for marketers? Okay, so if you belong to a brand, it allows you to market or promote your products or your services, as well as your values. Your values, what your company stands for. How do you achieve this? You can post ads, right? Or you can post content, free content on all these channels. Now, brands and individuals can set up social media pages and groups for free. Okay, so it's there for you to use. However, there are terms and conditions you have to follow, right? So you make sure you familiarize yourself, especially if you're using social media for your company. So you have to set up a company page or a group page to promote your business. You need to be aware of all these things like social and cultural sensitivities. So don't go and say something that will offend your audience. So that means you need to know who your audience is. Huh? Then, more importantly, never take social media for granted. Yes, it's free for you to use, but it doesn't belong to you. It's like you're borrowing the platform. Anytime the social media channel can change the look and feel of the page, it can change the functions of the page, it can change the way your page is being ranked, just like your website being ranked on Google, right? Let's say your Facebook page can also be ranked in Facebook search. Is it ranked higher, so it's more visible, or is it ranked lower? So these things, the algorithm that decides the ranking, the features, the functions, the look and feel, is not within your control. So you have to use whatever is given to you. Okay, you can't complain. you don't own it, right? It's for free. And the worst thing that can happen is access is taken away from you. If you post something which is against guidelines, they may just ban you, right? Maybe temporary, maybe forever. Then what if there's a technical problem or power failure and the entire social media channel goes down? Then if you're doing business at that moment, your business will be affected. Some time ago, I think 2021, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp crashed for 6 hours. In Singapore, it was after midnight, so most of us did not notice. Yeah, but for countries in the West, where it's daytime, it would affect them. technical fault, not as it was claimed. So can you see social media is great to use, but you can't take it for granted. Yeah, once it's taken away from you, all the hard work you put in. What's the most value you can get from your social media? Your followers, right? Your followers. You have taken the effort over time to build your number of followers. Let's say you've been doing social media for 10 years, and you've got 500,000 followers. Then one day you went to post something that is against the rules, they ban you completely. They took your rights away. You lost contact with all your 500,000 followers. Can you see the issue here? That's why I always recommend my clients, websites are more important than social media. And always drive traffic to your website from social media. And capture your audience by getting them to sign up for your newsletter or something. Then you have their emails. In social media, you can't collect emails. So can you see you're on dangerous ground? Don't take it for granted. Use social media wisely, use it effectively, collect leads, collect information, drive traffic to your website. Yeah? Yeah, but social media is the fun thing that brands want to use nowadays. It's very engaging to audience. So if you are a social media marketer, what do you do? What's your job function? Now, let me share with you job description. Okay, so some of you are already doing this. Some of you are looking to join the workforce, right? So, social media job description. Number one, create and manage your company's social media presence. Of course. So in a way, you're in charge of your company's social media page, plus everything that goes along with it. Next, plan social media advertising and content calendar. So you are given a platform, make full use of it. You need to continually engage your audience. No one wants to come to a social media page that has no content, okay? The advertising is something extra, which you can access, but you have to pay for it. So you need to do your planning, right? And then you have to create the content in advance of the publication date. Next, the thing that goes on your social media, your post will consist of written and visual content, right? And ads, if you're posting ads. So there's some skills involved in those things. So I'll talk more about the skill sets later. What's your
quick question about the produce and writing visual content and ads?
Yes,
is there like a specific app we could use to do that?
Specific app?
App.
Oh, app. Okay. All right. Maybe I'll talk about that later, but thank you for that information. There's no specific app, but I will give you some tools and some ideas on how to go about it. Remind me if I forget. Yeah, I'll talk about it later. Thanks, James.
All right.
Okay, so here we go again, back to what you need to do as a social media marketer. Produce written and visual content and ads. Then number 4, increase your follower numbers and engagement rates. Why have a page when you have no followers, right? So everything you do is aimed at that because you want more people to see what you are trying to promote. And engagement rates as well. So engagement rates, I mean likes, comments, and shares. If no one engages with your post, it could mean a few things. Probably your content is not engaging enough. Then you need to go and think about how to make it more engaging. Or maybe you are creating content for the wrong audience. You may think your audience is A when it's actually B. So that involves things like research. Next. Now, you also need to promote your channel and your content. Yeah, some people think their job is done. Oh, once I post on my social media page, that's it. Especially if your page is new, you got very few followers, you need to go and promote your page or your group outside of your page and group and get people to join, right? I'll talk more about that later. So not only your page or channel, but the content as well, okay? Now, whatever you post, you need to evaluate if it's doing what you want it to do. Is it getting the engagements you are wanting? Is it getting the conversions you are desiring, right? Yes, James.
Yeah, do you have a social
Mhm.
media account?
LinkedIn, yes. I'll tell you more about that later, James.
All right.
Okay. So anyway, monitoring your performance of your post, your page, monitoring things like sentiment. Sentiment is how people feel about your brand, very important. And also just understand the trends that are going on as well as what your competitors are doing, right? You can't just be thinking about your own company, your own brand. Competitors can do things which are better than you, and you need to take notice. Now, there's this thing called user-generated content. Most of the content about your brand is not posted by you. It's posted by your fans. I mean, if they're posting positive things. It can be posted by people who are not happy with your brand. But anyway, I think you should be looking for good stuff that your audience is posting. So user-generated content is something that you should also be looking at, right? You can do it via influencers, meaning you have a relationship with them, or people who naturally love your brand and will do it for free for you. So these are your advocates. So you need to know who they are and maybe develop a relationship with them. And lastly, of course, social media is not an island, all right? You need to integrate with your other marketing functions in your company. That means your website, of course, your offline activities as well, right? So taken as a whole, it's a very important part of a marketer's job, but it's not the only. So I've listed what I would consider the critical areas of social media marketers' job. So what kind of skills is required for today's social media marketing? The main one is social media optimizing. So anyone can set up a page, right? Yes. But do you know how to optimize your page so that it gets the most number of followers, it gets the most views and engagement, so on and so forth. So this is something that you can learn in our social media management class. Next, these are all the skills that you would need to know, hard skills, that you can pick up or learn on your own. Writing is the most critical, if you ask me. Everything begins with your idea. Your idea is translated into writing. And if you need visuals, then things like graphic design come into play, photography, videography, audio recording, if you're doing podcasts, animation, right? So you can do some simple animation with PowerPoint, actually. And then putting it all together, editing, and then coming up with a finished product, audio visual production. But that's not all. So you need to know what's new and what you can leverage on. So we are looking at things like augmented and virtual reality and AI. AI is what everyone's talking about nowadays. I'll talk more about AI in a while. Now, to analyze all the things that you've been doing, your research skills that come in, and your data analytics as well. Every social media has its analytics. It will tell you who is visiting your page, how long they stay on your page, what's the engagement rate like, where do they come from, which country, so on and so forth. There's so much information you can learn from your analytics. Now, a bit more on soft skills. EQ, emotional quotient and interpersonal communications. Of course, you're dealing with your consumers, customers, right? They are real people. So how do you handle, let's say, queries? How do you handle negative feedback? So all these things come in. You have to pick up these skills. More on soft skills, strategic thinking and planning. Earlier on, I mentioned about your content calendar. This is where all your planning comes in. And the strategy needs to come in first, actually. Why are you doing what you're doing? Are you trying to support your new product launch? Are you trying to build your number of followers? Everything has a reason. So if you're clear what you want to do, then everything flows from there. Problem solving. You will always come across problems when you're managing a social media. It can be a technical problem, it can be a people problem, but you need to solve them. organizational skills, right? So you are also dealing with people internally, right? Your bosses, your colleagues, right? Your shareholders. So you need to see how everything fits into the organizational structure. And last but not least, you need some creativity. Now there are millions of billions of posts every single day, correct? So how do you get your posts be seen by your audience? How can you capture their attention and sustain it long enough for you to get your message across? So sometimes you really need to be creative, do something that's different, that stands out, rather than just, oh, okay, this is my new product, these are my features, A, B, C. You just list them, you put a picture, and that's it. Is that good enough? No one's going to care because there's so many other more interesting posts for people to look at. So as you can see, a wide range of skills. You may not have all of them, but to be an all-rounder, I suggest you pick them up over time. You may be specialized in some areas, while other areas, maybe you have no inclination or no interest, but you definitely need somebody to do it for you if you can't do it yourself. So that's where, if you are part of a team, then it's good to have different team members with different skill sets to complement each other. Or you may want to get the help of an external agency to do the creative side, for example. So yes, take note, these skills, very important. I took a long time to try and at least get to a fundamental level for each of them. I can't say I'm an expert in all of them. I will say I'm an expert in maybe 4 or 5 of them, and the rest are good enough for me to get by. And maybe 1 or 2 still at very basic level. So if you don't have the skills, try and learn. There's so many avenues for you to learn. All right, now I want to know more about you guys. And for those of you who are using social media for work, I would like all of you to do this for me. Could you either go to this website and enter this 8-digit code, or just simply use your handphone, scan the QR code, and then there are some selections for you to choose, okay? So I've listed the different social media like your Facebook, LinkedIn, and all that. Just choose those which you are using now for work. You can choose more than one, of course. You can choose multiple. So I'll give you a minute to do this. Just an interesting, in a way, survey of you guys. And then at least I have a better idea of what you are using for your work. So that means you would have already set up let's say, the Facebook page or a group page in Facebook, or you have a YouTube channel and it's currently active. So I'll give you guys 30 seconds to finish. Okay, please go to this website, key in the 8-digit number, or scan the QR code with your phone. Just tick all those which you are currently using for work. All right, I'll give you guys another 10 seconds, and then I'll go and look at the results. So I'll get to see the graphs of how many people are using Facebook, how many people using YouTube, so on and so forth. Good for you to know also. Okay, countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, we shall stop here. If you didn't have time, no worries. Okay, I'm going to share the website where the results are, and we can all look at it together. And here we go. Okay, so most of you are using Facebook and WhatsApp. Second would be Instagram, followed by, in third place, LinkedIn and Messenger, which is part of Facebook, and then YouTube. And then the rest, no TikTok, no Twitter. This is kind of like reflective of what's out there in the market, frankly. Yeah. Facebook normally is number 1, then Instagram. Sometimes in some industries, Instagram is more than Facebook. Then the rest are all further below. Okay, very interesting, yeah? Thank you for sharing. Okay, let's get back to the slide presentation. So who can you reach through the various social media channels? So what I'm going to share with you now is some research done on Singapore from We Are Social / Hootsuite. You may have heard of these agencies. So this was done last year. So every year they do this. So this is the latest, February last year. So this is Singapore. They do, in fact, a survey all over the world, different countries as well. So if you can go online, you look for We Are Social Hootsuite, a survey or something like that, you will be able to find. So Singapore, as of February last year, 5.9 million. But if you look all the way to the right, because we're talking about social media, right? 89.5% of our population are active social media users. So I would say that's quite high. That's why we are considered a developed nation, right? If you look at the cellular and mobile connections and internet users, all very high. Next, overview of social media usage. So let's maybe zoom in on a few interesting ones. This one, average time a person spent on social media a day in Singapore, 2.5 hours. So you look at yourself, is that about correct? Yeah, I think that would be roughly there. What else? I think the rest are quite basic. You see some things increasing. Gender distribution is 50-50. Singapore is, it's about that. Yeah, 50-50. Now, types of social media accounts followed by internet users. So the one which is the most people use it for personal purposes. They want to follow friends, family, and people they know. Followed by things like food related, entertainment, right? So on and so forth. Let me highlight two that have relevance for brands. Here, the brands you want to buy from, 21.5%, or brands you're researching, 18.7%. But in fact, all the rest can be related to your company or to your industry, depending on where you are. For example, if you're in entertainment, then maybe the entertainment section would be more interesting to you. Fitness, further below, you can see that there are people interested. But mostly people use it for personal purposes or social networking. Sources of brand discovery. So this is very, very useful for brands to know, right? How do people discover brands and where does social media fit in? So let me point out those, like this one. You get to know brands through their ads on social media, 29%. And further down, comments made on social media, 24.6%. So the number one, of course, search engine, right? That's how people discover brands. They use search engines, so on and so forth. Main channels for online brand research. So where do people go and find information about brands? Okay, search engines, of course, number one. Social networks, since we're doing social media, is there. Number 3. Any more? Yeah, so that's the main one. But if you look at all the rest, also good to know, where does social media compare with other things like maybe mobile apps, forums. Forums, as I mentioned, is social media, but here they put it as separate. Demographic information. You guys know what is Meta, right? So Meta is the parent company for Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. So here they share with you the breakdown in terms of age and gender. So you can see that the largest age group here is 25 to 34 years old. And gender distribution is almost 50-50, thereabouts. Of course, this is important to you as long as you know your demographics, who you're targeting. If you're targeting seniors, I mean, of course, the number of people there is less than, let's say, this big group here. But doesn't mean that, you don't. But because of your product and your service, which is meant for that group, the seniors, then of course you have to take note. But this is just to tell you the potential size of your target audience if you're using Meta channels. Okay, time spent on social media apps. So remember what I said about YouTube. YouTube has 2 functions. It is a search engine, it's also social media. But if you combine these two, it is the largest. 20.8 hours in a month. Second is WhatsApp. And I know a lot of Singaporeans use WhatsApp. It's free, right? So that's 17 hours, followed by Facebook. Hey, sorry, my views are wrong. Huh? So the second one is actually Facebook, 18.2. Then we go down to WhatsApp. Then we go to TikTok, the new kid on the block, and then Instagram. But this, I don't think it's surprising. If you look here, the year-on-year change, between 2021 to 2022, TikTok usage increased by 74%. So we need to pay attention to TikTok, especially if you are targeting the younger generation. Okay, advertising audience overview. Okay, so you can have a look at these figures. Nothing really stands out. Slightly more males than females overall for social media. But if you dive into each different social media, you get to see different things. Facebook. What's interesting here? Facebook is one of the larger ones. Slightly more males than females if you're looking at gender distribution. Instagram. Instagram is the other way, more females than males. Can you see? I think you guys know why. Companies in fashion, beauty, health, I think the topics that more women are interested in will flock to Instagram. So you find more of them there. And Instagram is more visual. All those things that you want to buy, you want to see pictures of those things. What about LinkedIn? As we all know, LinkedIn is more for business networking. Yeah, more males than females are on LinkedIn. Twitter, right? Twitter, yeah, a lot of things have been happening at Twitter, as you guys know, right? Mr. Elon Musk has bought over Twitter. So Twitter is something to observe and see what's going to happen. Quite unpredictable, actually, now. It's hard to say whether they're going to change things. Will it be better for individuals? Will it be better for brands? The jury is still out. And TikTok, okay? TikTok, more females than male, yeah? Yeah, if you go on Orchard Road on a Sunday, domestic helpers, you see them at Orchard Road, right? Many of them will take up their handphone and start dancing and doing their song and dance routine. So that's that could maybe contribute to the number of females being more. All right, so from TikTok and all the social media, let's come to this topic. How do you create content that engages you? So I'll just look at the two things you can put up on social media. Your content, which is the free content you want to provide, and your ads. So social media content, or sometimes we call it content marketing, is what you can post that will engage your audience. Ads are what you pay. Ads have more instant impact and you can reach out to more people, but of course, you need to pay for them. Whether ads or content, you need to make sure they are optimized to fully engage your audience. Number one, of course, you need to know your audience, right? If you don't know your audience, you won't know what will engage. Let's look at this example. Okay, imagine you are a drum school, okay? So on your social media page, you post a video of this young kid playing electronic drums. So your posts can be informational. Yeah, not only adults can play drums, young kids can also. Your post can also be educational. Maybe the video is going to be a step-by-step, how to start playing drums. Entertaining. When you have a young, cute kid doing funny things on the drum set, people will definitely watch me play drums. Inspiring as well. Back to the thing about, if a young boy can learn, if you're an adult, you can also learn. Yeah. Now, if you are posting some, organic content, free content, then aim for informational, educational, entertaining, inspiring. But if you're doing advertising, make sure they are persuasive. So you have calls to action like, sign up for a free trial of a drum course, stuff like that. You want people to take action. So this is what you can aim for when you're creating content. Now, this is very important. when you put out content and ads, you want to promote your brand, your product and service, right? But you also need to promote your social media channel, your Facebook page, your Instagram page, your Facebook group, your LinkedIn group. At the same time, promote the content that you produce. Correct or not? Especially if your page is new, nobody knows about your page. So you need to drum up interest. There are many ways to do it. So things like sponsored posts, of course, you pay for your organic content to be seen. It's something like advertising. People use hashtags, of course, right? So that it can be found. And then you encourage your users to like, comment, share, subscribe as well. So don't forget this. Otherwise, you keep posting and then you don't see anybody engaging, or you hardly have any followers. This is where you need to do more work. Now, social media as a marketing tool. No, it's not only for marketing. Okay, so there are other aspects that you need to be aware of: sales, customer service, talent acquisition, and PR. So you need to wear more than one hat. Why? Social media manager is someone who is front-facing. You are facing the customer or consumer directly. So all these things are important. Number one, your social media channel can be used as a sales platform or social commerce. Just like e-commerce, you can sell things directly, nowadays in your Instagram app, in your Facebook app. So other skills that are required means, how do you close a sale? How do you upsell? How do you cross-sell? So you're not just posting, you're also trying to help in sales. You are also helping in customer service. People post comments, post questions, post negative feedback. You have to respond, right? As a customer service person, you need to know how. Talent acquisition. Whatever you post, indirectly, you're promoting your brand as a great place to work in. Can you see that? That's why some companies, they post photos of their staff having fun at their dinner and dance, or their staff going out to do some social cause activity, CSR as they call it. So this is also helpful for promoting your brand as a good place to work. And last but not least, public relations. So you need to monitor sentiment, right? If things getting out of hand because somebody did something wrong, people are complaining, it can lead to a crisis. If it gets shared and spread, your brand reputation will drop. So this is another skill to know. So you may ask me, hey, Chris, wow, to do social media, I need all these other skills. If not the basics, at least you know who to go and ask for help. Straight away, bring up a PR problem to your PR professional if you are not in charge. But you are still the one who's going to execute, right? So you need to be aware. Yeah. So does that mean, hey boss, I'm doing 4 persons job. Can I get 4 times the pay? Good luck on asking for that. Okay, this one I have to bring up because everyone's talking about AI. But actually AI has been around for the longest time. AI is a computer program. The social media page that you're using runs on a computer program. But what has changed in the last 2 years is the availability of AI tools for individuals and for companies for free. So nowadays, you get more and more AI tools that you can use for free. And you can use them for generate artwork. That's one. Okay. And just last year, in November, generate copy. So the question earlier, right? Apps that help you to write. Yes, you have your ChatGPT and all that. I would advise you to explore, but there are some issues that are still not settled yet. Number one, AI may not understand the context of what you're trying to say. AI may give the wrong facts. It has happened before. AI content can be considered as spam by search engines or maybe the social media, but not proven yet. It may also affect your ranking. You may be considered plagiarizing. Maybe not. Copyright. All these issues are still not determined 100%. Okay, and different social media may react differently to AI use. But to me, AI is a game changer. right? In marketing, digital marketing, content creation, yes. Tools to help you create layouts, to help you write copy. But just like any technology, don't misuse, right? And don't copy and paste. When GPT gives you the copy, make sure you paraphrase and double check and then use. Otherwise, if you're lazy, things get published, and then people may see, hey, this is inaccurate, or this is wrong. So you need to be aware of all this. So that's AI, and that's all I can share with you because it's still changing every day. Okay, now this one may be I'm sure of interest to you, your career path. If you're new to social media and you are looking at working here, what can you expect as a marketer? So these are some of the jobs that involve social media. You may be just focused on social media and nothing else, so you become a specialist. Or you may be just focused on creating the content, then you become a content strategist. A marketing executive who is doing everything, who will be doing the offline traditional media, will also be doing social media, right? Or you can be on the creative side, content creator, producer. Sometimes you will find social media parked under digital marketing specialists. If you're more into the communications and the PR, then it's under marketing communications or corporate communications. Or sometimes under data. So you become a data analyst. So there's so many job scopes that include social media. It can be just by itself. It can be part under something else. So it's always good to, if you're into digital marketing, you can't escape social media. You need to know about all the different social media, and then the content that goes in there, and plus all the other things that go together with it. So eventually, if you rise in your career, you become the manager, the director. Of course, you don't do the hands-on anymore. You got your team to do it. But you need to be aware of everything that can be done or can't be done, new technology, trends, everything you need to know. Then you can best make decisions for your company. All right? Salary. In Singapore, according to Indeed, the recruitment site, average base monthly salary for social media specialists. So I'm talking about executive to closer to manager level, maybe 3,142. That's the average base monthly salary. So companies that pay the highest in Singapore for social media specialists, StarHub pays 4.4K, SPH pays 4.3. Big companies. But don't be surprised, some other small companies can also pay, depending on how much they value this function for their marketing teams. Now, a big question. If you are not in social media, you don't have the experience, how do you enter? I think the most basic thing you can do is to enter as a general marketing person, executive or administrator, admin person, and slowly work your way up. Now, if you really want to focus on social media, I suggest you do this on your own, okay? Create your own social media page or group on your own topic of interest. It's free, right? Start blogging, start posting, create content, grow, engage your audience. Build your follower base. And then any of the surrounding skills, the content production side, the writing, put it all in together. Do some basic research on what your target audience likes, don't like. Learn from other bloggers or YouTubers, Instagrammers, influencers. See what works for them. Learn and apply for yourself. Do it consistently for at least a year. Number one, to see results, and this you have something to show for. So do this on your own time. It is the best experience. Frankly, you do it for your own hobby, and you build your audience from there. You can do a page, you can do a group. Why not do both, right? And then build your audience. And then if you want to join a company, you can use it as part of your portfolio. You can say, hey, I do content marketing on social media. I never do advertising. I managed to build a follower base of 5,000 people in 1 year. That's quite reasonable, quite good actually. Yeah. Then you can showcase all your posts, sample posts like those that work very well, have the most engagement. So this is something you have to learn on your own if you don't have the work experience. So this is part of your portfolio. Now, for those of you who are very successful, you may want to go into business yourself. You can monetize your channels, especially YouTube channels. So here's a link if you want to know more about monetizing. Right? Monetizing, only the very good ones will make money. Okay, then they can go into it full time. Just check those YouTubers with 500,000 followers. See how they do it, the production quality, the content, how they engage the audience, how they get the audience to like, comment, and share. Yeah, you can learn so much from them. All right, and I believe it's time for questions. So I hope you guys found this insightful. Time now is 8:45. Oh, sorry, 8:55. Yeah, got now 5-10 minutes for Q&A. But I want to flash this in the background while I take your questions, just for your info, the courses that Emarcity is conducting, right? So the two that I'm taking are the two right at the bottom: social media management, content strategy. But we also have an e-commerce module, digital advertising, and analytics. The prices are here, after subsidy with GST. All right, so the floor is now yours. Feel free to ask me any questions. No questions? Serious? No questions could mean two things. That means my topics are wide enough, comprehensive enough. Okay, somebody's out.
Hi, Chris.
Hi.
This is Melvin here. Can I
Hi.
just ask you, do you mind sharing with us a little bit, like how do you create content? What kind of content do you decide to actually use
Great.
to target your audience? Yeah, yeah. Thanks.
Okay. Can I ask, what industry are you in?
I am in the kitchen consultancy. Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay,
Thanks.
so what content to create? Wow, very interesting question. Number one, it's not about my company. It's not about me. It should not be about, yeah, of course you got services and products to sell and all that, but it is about your audience. Yes. Right. So when you're doing marketing, always put your potential customer as number one. That means you need to understand them and you need to know who they are, what they like, what they don't like. So in the beginning, it could be trial and error, right? When you are creating content. So if you are creating something, let's say interior design, you have an interior design firm. So you can talk about of course, you're trying to sell your design services, right? So people will hire you, you can create nice layouts for client's house or home. But at the same time, you need to go beyond what you're selling. Talk about things indirectly related. So going back to what I showed you, remember the little kid playing drums? The IEEI. Be informational, be educational, of course, be entertaining. You need to make people laugh, cry, smile. Otherwise, they won't read your copy or they won't watch your video. And after that, IEEI, the last I is inspiring. That's the most difficult to achieve. Inspire people to do something, to make a change. So aim for these four. Yeah, if you only do one of the four, that's good enough. Try and do it as well as you can. The more you include in your content, the better. All right. So if you're asking me what kind of content, I go and research my audience. Then there must be like a meeting point. what are you offering versus who is out there. Who is out there could mean, right, income level, and also depending on how much you're charging, right? Income level, gender, where are they from, and don't rule out customers from outside Singapore. That is if you want to do business outside of Singapore. Then, yeah, go and study your competitors and look at how people are reacting to your competitors' content. See what works, what doesn't work. Because if you're just starting your new Facebook page, you got no followers, right? How to study the audience? You go and study competitors. Then get some ideas, try and do something similar. Check your engagement rates over time. What works, do more of those. What doesn't work, drop it. Right? So that is how you should start. And you need to be informed of what's going on around the world, your company, your industry, your country, the world. Anything that happens can indirectly or directly affect, your business. So can you see, you can't be just, thinking about, oh, we're launching new product next week. Okay, I just post about my product. Cannot. You need to talk about other things. Build your audience. Be the expert in your field. Once you become the expert, and people will think of you as an expert if you continuously provide information, top quality informational, educational content at least, and try and inject a bit of entertainment. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Most welcome. Okay. Any more questions, guys? Okay, maybe some of you got the wrong info about the starting time of this talk. So if you did get the wrong info, we apologize, but I'm still here. So yes, you can ask questions. If you missed the earlier part of the talk, maybe you can ask me regarding those things. I don't mind talking about it again. Okay, by the way, I'm going to put this next slide because this is a series of talks that we're doing here in Mastery. So we've already done SEO last month. This month is social media. Next month is data analyst, the non-technical side of things. And then video marketing, data scientist, which is the technical side. And then lastly, digital advertising. You can go to our website address here. Now, this QR code, if you click now, it may not work because it will still highlight today's talk. So you may want just to take a picture, a screen grab, or just go to this website, type it down, and then later go and check it out, okay? Now, FYI, if you miss the earlier part of the talk, not to worry, we will email you the link for a video recording of today's talk. So you can at least go and watch it again. I'll watch it if you missed it, or you want to watch it again, you can also. Okay, I can, yes, Enyao has just put in the chat that link on our website for you to check out upcoming talk. Okay, I'm still here for your questions. Maybe another 5 minutes if you guys have 5-10 minutes if you guys need more. Even if it's not directly related to social media, you can also ask me anything about digital marketing. I will try my best to answer. Okay, so once again, maybe I'll just tell you what you're seeing on the screen are the courses that Immersity offers. I train the last two, right? Social media and content strategy, but we also have courses for e-commerce, digital advertising, and Google Analytics. All skills future funded. Hey, question here from Kelvin. Social media campaigns that become very successful And then on the opposite scale, those that are very poorly executed. So how do you avoid pitfalls and planning your campaigns? Again, it comes back to that thing, your audience. You need to know who is your audience, what they like, what they don't like. Huh? If you don't have a following on social media page because it's new, check your competitors. Once you know what they like, what you don't like, then you craft campaigns based on their interests, right? And once you have enough content, let's say after 3 months, 6 months, go and review all your posts on the back end of your social media, which ones do well for you. Then you do more of those, right? So other pitfalls, yeah, of course, never assume what your audience want. Never rely on just gut feel alone. You can't. You need to analyze, you need to research. Yeah, and make sure you know what else everyone else is doing. Yeah, you can't, there's so many new developments, new ways of engagement, new technology. If your competitors are using all those techniques and you are not, you'll be left behind, right? Yeah. Now, if you are ever going to ask yourself, should I focus on organic content or should I focus on advertising? My advice to you, both if possible. But if you want results faster, then advertising. But in the long run, aim to build your number of followers. You do that by content creation, organic content, free content. And that doesn't mean you just talk about your own products, huh? Talk about what's happening in the industry, how it's going to affect your audience. Yeah, that's how you build your audience. Okay, any other questions? All right, it's been a pleasure for me on behalf of University to share with you this topic. Thank you very much for coming, and don't forget the link. Go and check or rather we'll send you the link to check the video of this talk if you need to look at it. Okay, before I go, Eng Yao, do you have anything you want to share?
Yeah. So like Chris was mentioning just now, if you already signed up for this webinar, you will subsequently be receiving the email on Saturday. So to go to our video platform, you can see today's recording. You can also see the previous recording under SEO. Yeah, career as an SEO specialist. Then when you sign up, there also you can subsequently also see the other topics. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's all.
Okay. Thanks, Eng Yao, and thank you, everyone. Okay, thank you for joining us. We hope to see you at the next talks. Thank you, Pauline.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.